The New Year Honours 1900 were appointments by Queen Victoria to various orders and honours of the United Kingdom and British India. The list was published in the Times on 1 January 1900, and the various honours were gazetted in the London Gazette on 2 January 1900 and 16 January 1900. The recipients of honours are displayed or referred to as they were styled before the new honour, and arranged by honour and where appropriate by rank then divisions. Peerages: Baron Sir Henry Stafford Northcote, Bart. C.B. The Right Honourable Sir John Lubbock, Bart. M.P. Privy Council: Evelyn Baring, 1st Viscount Cromer, G.C.B. Montague Corrie, 1st Baron Roten, K.C.V.O. C.B. William Witherby Beach, Esq. M.P. Privy Council of Ireland: Sir David Harrell, K.C.B. Under Secretary for Ireland. Knight Bachelor: Theodore William Doxford, Esq. M.P. Walter Thorburn, Esq. M.P. Thomas Lauder Brunton, Esq. M.D. F.R.S. James Balfour Paul, Esq. Leon King of Arms. Gerald Raoul de Courcy Perry, Esq. CMG, Her Majesty's Consul General at Antwerp. George Dalhousie Ramsay, Esq. CB. Thomas Henry Taken, Esq. Honourable William Macpherson, Judge of the High Court, Bengal. Vembakan Bashir Manga, CIE. Juan Bahadur, Acting Advocate General of Madras Presidency. Bal Chandra Krishna Bhatwardekar, Esq. Chairman of the Standing Committee of the Municipal Corporation of Bombay. Honourable John Stokel Dodds, CMG, Chief Justice of Tasmania. Surgeon General Francis Henry Lovell, CMG, Member of Executive and Legislative Council of Trinidad. Malcolm Donald McEachin, Esq. Mayor of Melbourne, or Order of the Bath. Knight Commander of the Order of the Bath Civil Division Captain William de Wellesley Abney, CBFRS Director of the Science and Art Department. Companions of the Order of the Bath Civil Division John George Barton, Esq. Commissioner of Valuation, Ireland. George Buchanan, Esq. For services on the Venezuelan Boundary Commission. Robert Chalmers, Esq. Of Her Majesty's Treasury. Henry Harding Samuel Cunningham, Esq. Of the Home Office. Major General Edward Robert Fasting, FRS, late Royal Engineers. Director of the Science Museum. Everard M. Thurn, Esq. CMG, for services on the Venezuelan Boundary Commission. John Lowndes Gorst, Esq. Financial Advisor to His Highness the Khedive. Colonel James Leslie MacDonald, Re. Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Burness Mahadi, Re. Chairman, Prison Commission, Scotland. Order of the Star of India. Companion of the Order of the Star of India Richard Gillies Hardy, Esq. Indian Civil Service. Order of St. Michael and St. George. Knights Grand Cross of the Order of St. Michael and St. George. The Right Honourable Sir Joseph West Ridgway, KCB, KCSI, Governor and Commander-in-Chief of the Island of Ceylon and its dependencies. Sir John Bramston, DCL, KCMG, CB, late Assistant Under Secretary of State for the Colonies. Knights Commander of the Order of St. Michael and St. George Malachi Bose Daly, Esq. QC, Lieutenant Governor of the Province of Nova Scotia, in the Dominion of Canada. The Honourable Sir James George Leastier, KNT, Speaker of the Legislative Assembly of Western Australia. The Honourable John Alexander Cockburn, MD, formerly Premier of South Australia, now Agent General in London for that colony. Henry John Jourdain, Esq. CMG, formerly Member of the Legislative Council of the Colony of Mauritius. George Shardang Denton, Esq. CMG, Colonial Secretary of the Colony of Lagos. Charles Norton Edgecombe Elliot Esq. CB of Her Majesty's Diplomatic Service, late British Commissioner in Samoa. Companions of the Order of St. Michael and St. George John Pringle Esq. MB, Member of the Privy Council and Legislative Council of the Island of Jamaica. Patrick Manson Esq. MD, Medical Advisor to the Colonial Office. Charles Alexander Harris Esq. of the Colonial Office, for services in connection with the Venezuelan boundary arbitration. Alexander Murray Ashmore Esq. Receiver General and Chief Collector of Customs and Excise of the Island of Cyprus. Henry Reeve Esq. Colonial Engineer of the Gambia, for services as the British representative on the Anglo-French Commission for the delimitation of the Gambia boundary. Wordsworth Poole Esq. MB, for services as Principal Medical Officer of the West African Frontier Force on the Niger. Colonel Trevor Patrick Breffney Turnan, DSO, Warwickshire Regiment, Acting British Commissioner in Uganda, for services in connection with the recent mutiny in Uganda. Clifford Henry Crawford Esq. Her Majesty's Consul and Sub-Commissioner in the East Africa Protectorate, for services in connection with the recent mutiny in Uganda. John Ainsworth Esq. Her Majesty's Vice-Consul and Sub-Commissioner in the East Africa Protectorate, for services in connection with the recent mutiny in Uganda. Stanley Tompkins Esq. Assistant in the Uganda Protectorate, for services in connection with the recent mutiny in Uganda. Archibald Donald McKinnon Esq. MD, Principal Transport Officer for the Uganda Protectorate, for services in connection with the recent mutiny in Uganda. Rear Admiral Reginald Neville Custance Royal Navy, for services in Crete. Captain Harry Tremenhere Grenfell Royal Navy, for services in Crete. Captain Leslie Creary Stewart Royal Navy, for services in Samoa. Captain Frederick Charles Doveton Sturdy Royal Navy, for services in Samoa. Order of the Indian Empire. Knights Commander of the Order of the Indian Empire Edward Spence Symes Esq. CIE, Indian Civil Service Chief Secretary to the Government of Burma. S. Subramania Iyer CIE, Juan Bahadur, Queen Judge of the High Court of Judicature at Fort St. George. Companions of the Order of the Indian Empire John Sturrock Esq. Late Indian Civil Service. John Stuart Beresford Esq. Chief Engineer and Secretary to the Government of the Punjab in the Public Works Department. Lieutenant Colonel Malcolm John Meade Indian Staff Corps. Edward Lewis Capel Esq. Indian Civil Service. Lancelot Hare Esq. Indian Civil Service. Captain George Olafurs Keppel Indian Staff Corps. George Moss Harriot Esq. Executive Engineer in the Public Works Department, Central Provinces. Alexander Martin Lindsay Esq. Mong Ongaring, Honorary Magistrate, Rangoon. Khan Bahadur Sardar Muhammad Jacob Walid Sheikh Ismail. Frederick George Brunton Trevor Esq. Director of Funds, India Office. Francis Whitmore Smith Esq. Assistant Secretary Military Department, India Office. Ray Bahadur Kalika Das Dat Duan of the Cooch Behar State.